God designed us for Himself. Imagine an engine designed to run on a specific fuel. Using anything else would cause it to malfunction. In Mere Christianity, C.S. Lewis explains that God designed us to run on Himself. He is the fuel our spirits were created to burn, and the sustenance we were made to feed on. Without Him, true happiness and peace are impossible, because they don't exist apart from Him. This message reminds us that even in our most difficult moments, when life feels unbearable, God is present. Matthew 11:28 invites us, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." When we feel as though we're losing hope, Lewis reminds us that relying on God must begin anew every day. Trusting in Him is an ongoing act of faith, especially during seasons of waiting. Today, let's explore how to embrace these times, trusting in God's perfect plan. 1. God's delays are not His denials. Lewis once wrote, "God keeps no one waiting unless He sees it as good for him to wait." How often do we grow impatient, mistaking God's delays as indifference? Yet the Bible is filled with examples of God using waiting as a tool for growth and transformation. Take the story of Joseph in Genesis, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and imprisoned. For years it seemed as though his prayers went unanswered. But when God's timing came, Joseph's journey led to the saving of many lives. As Joseph himself said, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Genesis 50:20. God's timing is not random. Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord." When delays occur, they are opportunities to trust His wisdom, which far surpasses our own. 2. Patience is a virtue. In our fast-paced world, waiting feels like a waste of time, but patience is more than enduring. It's an active display of faith. Romans 5:3-4 states, "We glory in our sufferings, because suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope." Lewis advises us to stop seeing interruptions as distractions from real life. Instead, these moments are life itself, the life God is building within us. When we surrender our timelines to Him, we find peace in knowing that every delay serves a purpose. Think of a farmer waiting for crops. James 5:7-8 encourages us to wait patiently, just as a farmer does, trusting that the harvest will come in God's perfect timing. 3. God works while you wait. The silence of waiting can feel deafening. You may wonder if your prayers are unheard or if God has forgotten you. But even when God seems silent, He is working behind the scenes. Consider the story of Lazarus in John 11. Mary and Martha sent word to Jesus that their brother was sick, expecting Him to come immediately. Yet Jesus delayed, and Lazarus died. When He finally arrived, He performed a miraculous resurrection, revealing His power over death. God's delay was not a denial, but a setup for something far greater. Waiting refines our faith and teaches us to trust God, even when the outcome isn't clear. Jeremiah 33:3 promises, "Call to me, and I will answer you, and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know." 4. Tranquility in God's timing. Patience is not passive. It's about cultivating trust in God's timing. Philippians 4:6-7 instructs us to bring our worries to God in prayer with thanksgiving, so His peace can guard our hearts. In the stillness of waiting, we find that peace. Psalm 46:10 invites us to be still and know that I am God. Rather than viewing waiting as stagnation, embrace it as a time to grow closer to God. Lewis compares this process to the rebuilding of a house. God doesn't just patch leaks. He tears down walls and builds something entirely new and beautiful. Trust that His plan for you is greater than anything you can imagine. 5. Trusting in God's supreme dominion. Proverbs 19:21 reminds us, "Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails." Trusting in God's sovereignty means surrendering control and believing that He knows what is best, even when we don't understand. The story of Abraham and Sarah is a powerful testament to God's timing. Though God promised Abraham he would be the father of nations, the promise wasn't fulfilled until he was 100 years old. Their wait, though long and challenging, led to the birth of Isaac, the child of promise. Similarly, the waiting periods in our lives are not wasted. They are seasons of preparation and growth, molding us into the people God intends us to be. Ecclesiastes 3:1 assures us, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." A call to faith and patience. As we navigate life's uncertainties, let us remember that God's delays are not His denials. Patience is not weakness but strength, and waiting is not wasted time but preparation for God's blessings. Trust in His impeccable timing, knowing that He is always working for your good. Embrace the peace that comes from surrendering your worries to Him, and let faith guide you as you wait for His promises to unfold. Remember, God designed us to thrive in Him. He is not only the source of our peace, but also the one who carries us through life's challenges. So take heart, for He is with you, even in the waiting.